Now, this has been on my mind since I went to go see Obsession, and more specifically when I went to rewatch Obsession. Now, while it does it does remind me like certain elements of the movie does remind me of other movies in the horror community. One that really stands out for me is Halloween, the very first one. How that movie relies very heavily on suspense. Obsession goes along with that same philosophy, where it relies very heavily on suspense, to where the tension builds up, and toys with your anxiety, and it lets it grow. There's no breathing room whatsoever. Very little downtime. And then when something finally does happen, it knocks the wind out of you. Both movies pull that off perfectly. Like the few times that I went to rewatch this, like one of my favorite moments is the audience, the people who were in the theater, where I just couldn't wait to see how they react to certain scenes. And they that made the experience more fun upon rewatching it. But that's not what this video is about. This video is more specifically about something else that this movie reminds me of, and it's in the comic book genre. Now there's gonna be heavy spoilers for Obsession and this comic book content I'm about to mention, which is Jessica Jones. And if you already seen Obsession and you've seen Jessica Jones, then you probably know where I'm gonna go with this. Now, this is more specifically in season one of Jessica Jones, where you have the villain of the season, Kilgrave. And from what we know of his history with Jessica, is that he has the power to control people just by telling them what to do. And Jessica unfortunately encountered him and has been under his control for like quite a while, to where she was imprisoned by Kilgrave, basically, like basically his slave, like where he he has her dressed the way he wants her to dress, eats what he wants her to eat, and and Jessica probably just wanted to get just to punch her way out of those shackles, but she can't. She is locked, pinned down under Kilgrave's control. Same thing with Bear making the one wish, Willow making the wish that Nikki would love him more than anybody else. And that imprisons Nikki in a similar fashion, where she has no control over her actions and what she says. Very little, actually. Like the real Nikki will try to come out at times, but immediately, Freaky Nikki regains control immediately. And like the more I think about Obsession, the more I see it, and then when I rewatch it, I'm like, shit. This is what Jessica went through with Kilgrave. These two poor young women being basically held down by these two nobodies, these losers, these pathetic excuses of a man. One who can control anybody just by telling you what to do, and the other where he corrupted, like the one wish Willow, just so he can get his way with Nikki. And he knows that Nikki is going through, she's in agony, and yet he wants to cling on to that wish. He does not want to let it go. He just wants it to be more to his liking, where there's no toxicity whatsoever, that Freaky Nikki is, like like basically putting poor old Bear through. The only difference is that Kilgrave has his way with Jessica completely, until, until that control over Jessica eventually wears off to where his power does not work on her. And I can't remember exactly what led to that. It was after he told her to kill Reva, Luke Cage's wife, and then from that moment on, when they revisit that scene, it's like she is so like in despair that she killed somebody for this guy. And she's walking away. He's telling her to get back here, and she doesn't listen. And then later on in the season 1, she realizes when he tries to tell her to do something and she doesn't respond to it, has no control whatsoever. She's free. So there are differences there with Jessica and Nikki. I mean, like, Jessica to some degree she did have a happy ending. Nikki, ooh, those are not in the cards for poor Nikki Freeman. Like, oh man. Whew. But yeah, that's what I basically wanted to point out. I don't know if anyone else thought of this. This would be an interesting hot take. There's like many hot takes going around on the internet about this movie. And then the more I thought about Nikki, and then where we get glimpses of real Nikki, just basically wanting to be free of this by dying. Like, it's crazy. And one scene in this movie, and specifically, I can't really describe it, but the word rhymes with shape. Yeah, that scene where you see the look on Nikki's face when that's happening, I'm just like, wow. Crazy. That's exactly what Kilgrave was putting Jessica through. It's insane. It is fucking insane. But feel free to share your thoughts on that. Like, did you think of this before? Like the comparisons, or did it just put up? Like, did it light up? Like, did a light bulb just turn on for you, or you're just like, wow, oh wow, like that's exactly what it is. But yeah, do you see the comparisons, or is that just me? Like, feel free to tell me in the comments, and also tell me what you thought of Obsession. Man, all these movies that are coming out right now, and people are still this movie's been out for like a month, and people are still going to see it. Yeah, Steven Spielberg just he just had a movie put out, but yet that's still taking people. People are still sitting their butts in theaters to see Obsession. Masters of the Universe, yeah, that's cool, but we're gonna see Obsession. Yeah, indie horror is striving right now. But I'll catch you guys in my next video. So until then, peace out.